right, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing Geek Vibes Live interview. I'm your host, Tia, and I'm very excited to have with me director and producer of the upcoming documentary, Valerie, Stacey Souther. How are you today?
Hey there, how are you? Good morning.
How is it in, I'm assuming you're in California right now, so how is it in sunny California?
I am in California. I'm in LA. I haven't been out yet because this is kind of early, but it's paradise. Come on, it's California. The dream.
We're on two opposite ends of the country. I'm in New York, you're in California and everything, but I want to say we're probably in the best states. So, I get you.
Yeah, we both live in the dream.
Exactly. But I'm really excited that you're here today. So a little background for my listeners. I interviewed this amazing director, John Lee Brody, last year for his short film. And we've stayed in touch. And he's like, you got to watch this documentary that I'm an executive producer on. It's directed and produced by this great guy, Stacey. Here, just watch it. And I watched it. And I loved it. The review should be posted on our website very soon after this review comes out. But I love it. It's all about this actress called Valerie Perrine. And I'm sorry?
Perrine.
Perrine, sorry.
Everybody, they say it both ways, but yeah, it's Perrine.
Valerie Perrine. Well, Stacey, I'm just going to let you kind of roll with this. I mean, why don't you tell everyone, what was the inspiration behind you doing this documentary?
Well, Valerie and I are very close. She's like my mother. We've been friends since 2006. We met walking dogs, which is a nice, I guess, romantic way to meet people. Yeah, we've just become very, very close over all these years. And I've been through a lot of things with her. And then once, the Parkinson's, essential tremors stuff started happening, I've been through that whole process and decline with her. So what happened was she's such an amazing person and had this incredible life. I wanted to, this is a love letter to her. I didn't want her to be forgotten. And I wanted to make sure that people knew her legacy, and also, old fans kind of wonder where she is because she retired a few years ago. So I wanted them to kind of get caught up with her, and I wanted to introduce her to hopefully a new legion of fans, because, who doesn't love Superman and things like that. So the whole thing is, it's just I wanted this to be a nice bookend to her legacy.
Right. So, you said that you met her back in 2002. Was that 2006. When 2006? Is that when the documentary first started, or did you wait a few years before you're like, I want to start recording and compiling something up of her?
Well, what happened was I originally I came to LA to act. So I was an actor back then. And then, when I got to know Valerie, I was like, somebody should do a documentary about her. She's had this fascinating life, I kept saying that because I didn't know anything about, filmmaking. I mean, I could act, I didn't know anything else, And then David Arquette, who's an executive producer on the movie, and also was in it, this project came up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Stacey can shoot that. He can shoot that thing. And I'm like, I've never picked a camera up. I don't know anything about a camera. David's like, oh, it's easy. You can use mine, or whatever, it's all good. So I kind of got thrust into a project. So luckily I had a knack for it. And I'm pretty good with just being aware of things around me and whatnot. So I kind of got a crash course in shooting then. And then what happened was, I'd say 6 months later, Valerie was going to have brain surgery, which you see in the film, and I knew, I was like, this is a one-time thing. Like I have to shoot this. I have to catch this footage. So I borrowed a camera. Literally, I took a DSLR, like in the hospital, like kind of held it down, you know, and trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. Like, you know, it looks like a regular camera. And, you know, I got some stuff that way, and I got permission way after, but I did get permission. So if you are shooting things, make sure you get permission.
How does Valerie feel about this documentary having been filmed, and the fact that because, by the way, you described it perfectly, it is a love letter to her, and I feel that when I've watched the documentary. So has Valerie seen it? I mean, what does she feel about this?
Oh yeah, she loves it. I mean, of course, she's known about it the whole time I've been doing it because it's about her. Yeah, she loves it. Every time even from the first assembly of it till the final product, I would always, you know, when we got something, I would show her, or like if I got an interview with somebody like Jeff Bridges or anybody, and these people that she knew, as soon as I finished the interview and I got home, I would go over to her place and I would say, check it out. Like, you know, so and so said all these great things about you. And that was really nice. And that, I think some of that was therapeutic as well, you know, because of the Parkinson's. And, you know, as you see in the film, you know, she's battling that. So I think that, you know, that was a little bit of a silver lining, you know, of the process of it.
It was really nice seeing the testimonies of other actors who have interacted with Valerie. I mean, were there any actors that maybe you weren't able to get who had previously wanted to participate in this, or did you pretty much get everyone that you had wanted to for the documentary?
I got most everybody I wanted. There was a couple of people that I didn't get, and believe me, I tried. Dustin Hoffman, I really tried to get Dustin Hoffman because they worked together in Lenny, and they were, you know, they had a great relationship and everything. He was tough. I don't even know if he knew about it, but I tried probably 10 different ways to just get in touch with him. And again, I don't know if he ever knew about it, because he was somebody, like, they had a really good friendship. So I think if he would have known about it, he probably would have done something, because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
There was him. Who else did I really try to get? You know, I tried some of the other big people, like I think I tried to get Robert Redford. I tried to get geez, who else did I try to get? I mean, some of the people have passed away. I mean, I got most everybody. I mean, like I said, there were a few people that said they would do it, and you know, then I was in touch with them. That, oh, I got to go into a movie. Call me in a month, and it was kind of this chasing around thing, you know, for like 2 or 3 months, and finally, you know, I called like, oh hey, you know, you told me to call you back. How's it looking? And then they would come up with you know, I don't really know her that well. I don't really have anything to say. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me that at the beginning?
Before I tried to chase you around all this time.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known it, you know. But you know, I think everybody we got, you know, was great. I mean, come on, I got, you know, Angie Dickinson, David Arquette, Jeff Bridges, Stacy Keach. You know, I got Richard Donner. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised when I was watching it again from someone who unfortunately hadn't heard of Valerie prior to the documentary, and then suddenly seeing all these really well-known actors in the business suddenly pop up. It's like, I don't know, just that looked good, and what they were all saying seemed very genuine, which is nice. Because, you know, a lot of things about Hollywood, you could say, especially maybe old time Hollywood, is that, you know, there's a degree of, say, fakeness around, and the fact that there's just such genuine feelings towards Valerie was just really refreshing to see.
Oh, 100%. I mean, again, like, everybody had such great things to say, and especially, you know, when they found out, you know, she was battling Parkinson's, you know, they had really nice things to say. And I'll throw it in now. Anybody that watches the documentary, make sure you watch it through the credits, because there's a nice little section of clips of well-wishers from all these people that did interviews. I mean, there's a great thing, you know, Richard Donner, again, Jeff Bridges, like everybody has some really nice things to say. So, oh, and if you're a big Superman fan, if you're in that whole world, Andrea Brooks is in it, who is the new, well, I guess not new now, but she's the second Miss Teschmacher. She's on Supergirl. Like, she's amazing. She found me because I was doing a crowdfunding thing, like, geez, like 4 years ago, and it had ended. And so, and she had just gotten the role on Supergirl, and she had done all this research on Valerie, and she literally reached out on all my social medias, like, hey, you know, just to be able to, you know, make sure she found me. And just a great, sweet girl. And I think she adds like a really nice, it's a nice younger element, but also like you see the whole, like, you know, she's carrying on the legacy and the respect that she has for Valerie in the piece. So she's great too. I mean, there's so many great people in it.
It's amazing to see that Valerie was in 2 Superman films. And Geek Fives Nation, I mean, we live and breathe superhero comics, you know, and Superman, Christopher Reeves. And so to see that she's a part of that was also very awesome to, you know, watch. And I like that there's a part of the documentary. I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't seen it, but there is a very nice part where they talk about the wonderful chemistry between Valerie and Christopher. And I thought that that was quite nice to capture that.
Oh yeah, there's some great pieces. And I mean, again, if you're a Superman fan, Richard Donner's in it, Sarah Douglas, who was Ursa, you know, the bad girl of the Superman, the 3 villains, and she's amazing. And of course, like I said, Richard Donner, Andrea Brooks. So I mean, there's some really there's a nice tie into that world. And like I said, I mean, this wasn't his last interview or anything, because, you know, I got this several years ago, but it's nice to see, you know, Richard Donner. Like I revisited, you know, I've seen the, you know, I rewatched the documentary and all the trailer, and I went through some Richard Donner footage the other day, and it was just, you know, we lost, I mean, not even a good filmmaker. I mean, this guy is a legendary genius, you know, I mean, you know, Superman, I mean, without him, that movie wouldn't be what it is. Goonies, like Lethal Weapon, I mean, like his footprint is in so many amazing films from, you know, all through, I mean, yours, mine, I think, like this nostalgia, the childhood, you know, he's such a integral piece of that, you know.
Absolutely. You know, I just thought about you and Valerie have this nice little connection where you had said that you went to California to be an actor, didn't really expect to go into the director role, where Valerie was a showgirl and never really expected to go into an actress role. So that's really cool there. I mean, I love that part of her that, you know, I believe I read, and you touched upon it in the documentary, but I believe I had read on Wikipedia that she was one of the first women on screen to go topless. And, you know, I mean, she was a pioneer and a trailblazer in her field.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, Valerie, there's nobody else like her. There never will be. She did what she wanted to do. She'd say what she wanted to say. I mean, literally the showgirl thing, she, you know, literally went to Vegas, and when she was 18, knocked on backstage doors, and they gave her a job as a showgirl. And she, you know, she was there for a while, you know, several years, and, you know, she became a big deal in Vegas. And then she just kind of got tired of Vegas and went to, somebody was like, oh, you should go to LA. You can probably get into commercials. You're really pretty, make some money. And she wasn't trying to be an actress. She literally got discovered at a small dinner party for Slaughterhouse-Five, which if you haven't seen that movie, or it's, you know, Kurt Vonnegut novel, but that was her first thing. And yeah, touching on the topless thing, well, she's topless through half of that movie because that's her character. And, you know, she tells a great story in the film about that. But yeah, there was a play they did on PBS with Bill Bixby. And if any of you guys are really, really diehard fans, Bill Bixby was the Incredible Hulk,
Yes.
Dr. David Banner. But so they did this thing, and it's called Steam Bath, and it was a what's his name? Bruce J. Friedkin, Friedman. What's his name? Friedman. Sorry, I'm forgetting his name. I've said it so much. But anyway, she literally, it takes place in a steam bath, and she turns just far enough because she's showering where you see her breast.
Yeah.
And she became the first woman on American television to be topless. So nobody was doing that.
I think that's really interesting because at the time that that happened, I believe would have, and it's been a while since I've been in film class, so I kind of forget what it was called right now. But remember, there was that like rules set in place from the 30s to the 60s, where they had all the rules, no nudity, no kissing for longer than 3 seconds.
And couldn't be in the same bed and like on TV.
Right, exactly. I took a film class back in college.
I think it's called Standards and Practices. I think that's what it's called.
And I think that ended literally like 1968 or something like that. So, I mean, she was doing this right after the film industry had gone through this like really prudish, few decades and everything. So again, it's just like that's so bold to do. And you have to imagine, I don't know if she was nervous at all or anything of like any sort of backlash, but she didn't seem it. She always just seemed like she's so positive.
Yeah. She did, like, again, she did what she wanted to do. Like one of her mottos, or not motto, but she doesn't think about tomorrow, and she doesn't worry about the past. She doesn't, she's not worried about what has happened or what's gonna happen. She's in the moment. That's part of her whole, I don't know. That's just part of the way she's lived her life. And so yeah, she just did what she would do and not worry about it.
Yeah, and I love that. I'm just like, I really enjoyed this documentary, and another part of it that I loved is you highlighted how Valerie did never have children, but the way you highlighted wasn't in a negative light. It was that was her decision, and she's loving life, living life, and all that, and it's not a bad thing. And I like the way that you framed that, because maybe other filmmakers could have framed it in a negative sort of fashion, and you didn't, which was really great.
Thank you. Yeah. No, thank you. You're the first person that's pointed that out. I like that.
It was the thing, I guess, that just stood out to me. But I mean,
yeah, no.
We see in the documentary Valerie's beginning, and we see her career, and we see her today. I mean, obviously Parkinson's disease is a really awful condition. I believe Michael J. Fox just came out saying that he had to retire from acting because he felt as if his condition was going to worsen to the point where he could no longer act. So, I mean, how is Valerie doing today?
She's good. I mean, it's Parkinson's. It's a progressive neurological disorder. So, I mean, I feel for anybody that is going through, well, anything like that, any struggles, but any of the neurological ones where I think it slowly robs you of who you are. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I think that's really tough. And, but no, she's good. I mean, you'll see it in the movie, but she, her, positive attitude, that's one thing I wanted to show through the film. She has this amazing spirit. The whole time she's been going through all these struggles and whatnot, she's never complained. There's never been a woe is me. Oh, why can't, there's never been one bit of that. And that's, I wanted to capture that. But no, she's good. I mean, literally, I see her 3 or 4 times a day.
That's awesome.
When I say I'm like her son, I'm literally like her son. I'm the last person to see her every night, and so. But no, she's good. And yesterday I showed her all. Been showing her some of the stuff with the doc and everything, keeping her up to, like, oh, check out this review. What do you think about that? It's wonderful. What are you, here's the trailer again. What do you think of the trailer? I love it. Like those kind of things. So she's as good as can be expected, where she is with her, with the disease, but she's a trooper.
So for those who are watching this interview between us, I mean, what would you tell them when they ask, why should I watch this documentary?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say the reason to watch this is it's a film about hope and about having a spirit that can't be beaten. If you want, and just to learn about to learn something about a woman who was a pioneer for women before that was a thing. Valerie's led. If people could lead 10% of the life she's led, they would be happy. Yeah. I mean, even the stuff that I didn't get in the documentary. I mean, she's led an incredible life that, again, you don't believe it till you've seen this little slice in the movie. But no, I would tell anyone, it's a great film, and it's not because it's my film. If it wasn't, I'd still say it was great. But no, I think it's a nice introduction to either an amazing woman that you may not know, or you may, you've seen the movies and you want to know more about her, but also I want you to see it because of the positive outlook she has on life. One of the reasons she let me shoot everything, first, again, because she trusts me, but this is raw. It shows like a lot of things that most celebrities, if they get sick or something, you don't hear about it till usually, something happens and they pass away, then it comes up or whatever. But with Valerie, she let me shoot everything. And the reason was there are so many people going through, Parkinson's and other things and just whatever struggles they are. She wanted them to know you're not alone. This can happen to anybody. Here she is. She was a huge movie star. I mean, her career was huge in the 70s. I mean, she was nominated for an Oscar.
I was just going to say she was
BAFTA.
I was just going to say she won a BAFTA, the Cannes Film Festival. She was nominated for an Oscar. Those are no small things in, a person's career.
Oh, 100%. So she, you look at that, you're like, oh, this person, like they're, when you think of movie stars, you're like, oh, that person's never going to grow old. They're going to be rich. They're always going to have this amazing thing. And that's not the case. But again, she just wanted, people to know that it can happen to anybody. And also, like, if you're having a bad day or you're struggling, maybe seeing the film can, you can bring something positive away from it. And maybe that could help you and your, for just a moment of the day, if you're going through something tough, because she's inspirational.
And
I don't know if that really answered your question.
No, it did. 100%. 100%. When and where can people check out this documentary?
All right. They can see it now. It's available. You can see it if you go to valeriemovie.com. There's a link there that'll take you right to it. If you're on social media, there's on Twitter, the Val Perrine. Like, things are posted all in there, and I think it's in her bio there. Instagram, Valerie Perrine official. That one, it's in the bio. Mm-hmm. Facebook, if you look her up, she has a regular page, and there's a Valerie Perrine fan page. So, I mean, you can find it in any of those ways. I mean, I haven't tried this, but it's on Vimeo. I think maybe put her name in because it's on demand.
Okay.
If it probably work that way too, but I think it's easy. Like, easiest thing is if you go to valeriemovie.com, that's easy to remember and just click on the thing. And there's also on any of the links or the valeriemovie.com, there's also a GoFundMe set up for her. That just helps with her with help pay for medical care needs and things like that, because, it's not a cheap disease, you have to have help and whatnot. So that's just a little extra thing. If anybody, feels that they want to do something a little extra for, there is that GoFundMe. And again, all those links are ValerieMovie.com, and you can find her or me, on pretty much any social media.
Yeah, and I'll put the links down below in the description so everyone can access that. Stacey, you said that you never really expected to get into the director's chair and things like that. I mean, so do you have the bug now? Are you looking to direct another film? I mean, what's going on for you next after Valerie?
Yeah, well, this movie took 7 years to make. I mean, again, not every day, but that's just the kind of way it played out, which worked for this film. No, I like to produce. I was a producer on, there's a movie called You Cannot Kill David Arquette. If you haven't seen that, it's on Hulu, it's on Canopy. It's about David's return to professional wrestling. That's
I love
another
that.
great film. You have to watch it if you haven't seen it. So yeah, I pop up in that, and like I said, I was a producer on that, so that's a really good one. Yeah, I'm working on producing some stuff. There's like a docu-series that we've been working on about Jessie Graff. Okay. You know who that is? She's an American Ninja Warrior. She's amazing, stunt woman, everything. She was in Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman 2.
I may then have seen her just because I used to watch American Ninja Warrior, so I have to look her up.
She was the first woman that completed the course that only men had done. Like she's another super inspirational female, like another great person. And then I'm working on a true crime serial killer docu-series thing. We're working on trying to get that off the ground. So hopefully there's some more good stuff coming in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love true crime. So definitely, that's awesome. That's great. So Stacey, before I let you go today, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you, just so that, we can all follow each other.
Oh, I love it. Well, Instagram, I'm Stacey Souther, which let's see, I'll spell my name. Stacey, Stacey, Souther, Souther. So yeah, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I don't really do it that much, so that's why I have like 50 followers. But hey, maybe all that's about to change. But yeah, if you look up just my name, you can find me. And like I said, same thing with Valerie on any of those, because you'll be able to tell it's her if you look her up. But yeah, like I said, ValerieMovie.com. You can find all the important stuff that way.
Awesome. Yes, everyone, please make sure that you check that out. Thank you for checking this interview out. I've had a great time, Stacey, and hopefully we can keep in touch in the next project that you got going on. You'll feel like dropping it into my email.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, this is great. Thank you so much for the time and so much. I appreciate you watching the movie and loving it. I mean, that's the whole thing as a filmmaker. Once you finish it and you put it out into the world, it's got its own life. It can go however it's going to go. And I'm glad that so many people are having a great experience with it and loving the message and just loving the movie and loving discovering Valerie. So that means a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I know that our followers will definitely love discovering Valerie as well. So until next time, we will see you guys later. Bye.